Bel Air, California is known for being one of the fanciest parts of LA, and its many mansions and large plots of land serve as an ideal way to have some privacy from neighbors. Enough privacy for midday skinny dipping in a secluded backyard pool. The only problem? This naked man doesn't live at this house. He's a total stranger. Now inside the house, the naked intruder moves from room to room. At one point, even commandeering a pair of shoes. Luckily, the homeowner is out, but she's been alerted to the man's presence via the security app on her phone. Shocked and scared, she immediately calls her husband, and he's upstairs.
No, someone came inside the house.
Inside whose house?
Outside of the camera.
On the driveway? Where? Where's someone?
Inside our house.
The homeowner checks outside for any signs of trouble. But little does he know, the trouble is about to find him.
Yes, I'm here. On the door.
Hey, what are you doing here? In my house. What are you doing here? I'm gonna call the police right now. I'm gonna call the police right now. No. Get out of the house.
Concerned that the intruder may attack him, the homeowner takes off by climbing over his bedroom balcony and onto his car. He leaves the property and dials 911. The naked intruder is still at the house when police arrive. In a shocking twist, they discovered that he killed two of the family's pet birds. He is identified as a 34-year-old homeless man living on the streets nearby. He is charged with 4 felony counts. 1 count of first-degree residential burglary with a person present, vandalism, and 2 counts of cruelty to an animal. He is still awaiting trial. It's early evening in Seattle, Washington. And this flannel-wearing man is out for more than just a neighborhood stroll. He's casing houses. The stranger checks a back door, but it's locked. So he heads around the corner to look for another way into the house. But what he doesn't realize is that the homeowner, a member of the United States Marine Corps, has been watching the camera feed all along and is now silently following him. The intruder heads for the front door, leaving himself trapped in a corner for the Marine to make his move. Just out of the camera's view, the homeowner has wrapped his arms around the intruder, and the two are struggling at the front door. They come tumbling down the steps. Tussling on the ground, the intruder quickly discovers that he's no match for the hand-to-hand combat training of a Marine. Meanwhile, the homeowner's wife is already on the phone with police. After an intense struggle, the intruder accepts his fate and stops resisting. Having protected both his home and neighborhood, the Marine keeps the situation under control until officers arrive. It's important to note, law enforcement does not encourage homeowners to get in physical confrontations with intruders, even if they were trained by the Marines.
This is my dock here. The neighbor has started feeding the birds, dumping a bunch of bird seed in front of my dock.
Justin Schott's boat dock and his access to it is the basis of an ongoing boundary dispute. The only way Justin can get to his dock is by walking through his neighbor's property.
I guess he thinks he's being clever, trying to get all the geese to poop on my dock.
Get off my yard.
Sorry, buddy, got the legal right to be here.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do.
Get off my yard. You got the legal right to get out.
Got the legal right to be here, buddy.
Yeah.
Boundary disputes make up nearly 20% of all fights between neighbors, but this issue is escalating way beyond that.
Off my yard.
Well, you want to play this
Abby,
way?
call the police.
Call him. I have the legal right to be here.
I'm gonna call the police.
Oh, okay.
Call the cops. Call the cops. I want the cops.
I don't like the birds being fed in front of my dock there to try and piss me off and make me mad.
911.
I have the legal right to be here.
No, you don't. No, you
Yeah,
don't.
yeah, I do.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Justin believes he has an easement, which is the right to access someone else's property. In order to get to his dock, Justin has to cross through his neighbor's yard, which this neighbor clearly isn't allowing Justin to do.
Get my phone. Right now. Go get my phone. You're going to jail. If you ever come across my property again, I'll kill you.
Threatening someone's life can be punishable with prison time.
Doesn't have to be like this.
This dispute is about to escalate beyond simply verbal threats.
Get off it. Push you right into the roof.
Please stop touching my golf cart. Please stop pushing the golf cart.
You're on my property, Justin.
I have the legal right to be here.
You don't have the legal right. You just hit me with a golf cart.
Please let me leave. Please let me leave. Please let me leave.
That physical act gives Justin cause to call the police and report an assault.
Please let me leave,
Get
Corey.
off my yard. Stay off. Don't ever bring that thing on my yard again. Don't ever bring it on my yard again.
Later, the police come and fill out a report. As of this taping, charges have yet to be filed,
How you like that?
and the dispute between these neighbors rages on.
It's assault and I'm pressing charges.
Guess what?
You're on video.
You're going to jail.
I was on my way to lunch and I went outside and I saw that my car had purple Sharpie just everywhere, on the windshield, on the door, on the window of the door, and there were notes saying that I was parked illegally. It was a little confusing. And I knew immediately that it was my next door neighbor, so I went to talk to them. I'm your neighbor? You wrote on my car? Hi.
The neighbor peeks through a small window,
Is anyone home?
but won't open the door.
Someone was definitely home, and they just looked at me through the window and waved. So I eventually just called the non-emergency line to get someone out there to help me talk to my neighbor. 2 officers came over, and I was outside. I had the car, all the evidence, and I was like, I just really want to talk to my next door neighbor. But eventually the cops got him to open the door and come out.
We're the police.
Did you guys write on that car with a marker?
Yes, they occupy my garage location. I cannot put my garage on the location.
Yeah, you can't do that. That's illegal.
I
That's
don't
against the
know.
law.
She is illegal first.
No.
No. She's not.
This is a private street. We can't enforce parking laws on a private street.
The cops asked me, do you want to press charges? How do you want to handle this? And I said, I just want him to clean it off. The man was like, oh, it's so easy to clean. You just use alcohol. And I was like, yeah, well, I want you to clean it up. And so he came out with like a bottle of perfume in this like little old rose bottle. And it didn't have a spray sprout. It's one that you like dab on your wrist. And he just started like dabbing it on the car. The alcohol in the perfume removes the Sharpie.
Goodbye, Sharpie.
And I made a comment like, oh, that smells so good.
Ooh, that does smell nice.
Just trying to be friendly and, keep it lighthearted.
What's the scent on that?
You like?
Yeah, that's good.
And he was like, oh, you like it? It's yours.
For me? Thank you, sir. And we don't park there on garbage can days, so you should be good, okay? Have a good one.
So I now am the owner of a Dusty Rose perfume.
Goodbye, Sharpie.
And I never parked in that space again. End scene.
In Brooklyn, a driver is filming a mother-daughter team who are trying to hold a parking spot without a car.
Got 2 females physically blocking the parking spot. Police on the way.
You're the oldest one here, right? You're gonna fight him?
No one's
In front of your daughter?
No.
Is that what you're gonna do?
No.
The cops soon arrive to take charge of the situation. Sensing they're losing this fight with the NYPD, The women try a different tactic by claiming the driver hit them.
Report you want. You would have hit me.
Did you say I
Yes, it's my daughter.
Did you say I hit you?
My daughter. It is. That's not good. That's not good. Why?
Did you say I hit
I
you?
went from the parking and put me with the car. That's not good.
My car has cameras, ma'am. I didn't touch you. My car didn't touch
I
you.
hope that happens to you. Your daughter. Hey, watch.
NYPD hears enough and steps in.
First of all, this is done. That's one.
Yes.
Two, you cannot hold the spot for anybody.
All right.
Okay? You understand? I'm
Yeah,
speaking to you
yeah.
because your daughter obviously doesn't have no respect, so I'm not gonna speak for
She
her.
respect, but
Okay, I'm talking to you. You're the adult, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You're not legally allowed to block a spot for anyone. You understand?
That's not good.
The daughter just spit at the man filming. But the officer notices.
Do that again.
My nail
All right.
broke, sir.
All right, do me a favor. Tell your daughter to go.
Having attracted the attention of her entire block, Mom is now justifiably embarrassed.
Do you understand? I'm not worried. Trust me. I'm not worried.
Everybody is saying go.
All right, well, you're not allowed to block any spot.
The parking space princess can't resist one parting shot.
Talk to me that officer.
You're in public.
It's
You can
New
be.
York state law. You can report anybody in public.
Thanks to the patience of the officer, this mother and daughter avoid getting arrested and learn a valuable lesson. In the fight for parking, the one with the car wins.
You did it!
Kids riding bikes is a common sight in the neighborhood. From hesitant first wobbles to confident displays of skill.
I don't think he's gonna make it. Oh, he didn't. Oh, and that very hurt.
In a family neighborhood of Santa Ana, California, a 12-year-old child has a camera attached to him as he pedals down the street. But on the footpath is a neighbor who lives a few doors away, and she is on the warpath.
And that one too. Get the hell off the sidewalk now.
Excuse me?
Get off the sidewalk.
Please don't touch me. Why'd you just hit me?
The boy claims that as the neighbor pushes him off the sidewalk, she slaps him in the back. But instead of apologizing, the neighbor threatens him.
Want me to hit you again? You tried to run
Mom!
on the sidewalk.
Mom!
Hey, come on out, Mom. Hey, Mom.
She just hit me!
The boy's mother, who has had run-ins with his neighbor before, appears, and she is not liking what she's hearing.
You hit my child?
Yes, she did. Yes, she just did.
He tried to run us down on the sidewalk
I did not.
and lied to us.
I have a video.
It's a great thing that there's a camera strapped to his chest.
Tried to run us down.
The news that the boy is recording the incident seems to incite this self-proclaimed Home Association board member even more.
Good. Come on, boy. Just get it on. Let me
Get
see
away
it.
from me.
Come on.
Get away
Come
from
on.
me.
Come on.
He touches me.
And bizarrely, the neighbor starts yelling for the cops.
Hey, we're here on the police.
You need
Go get him.
go away. This is crazy.
Shame on both of you. And shame on Dad.
Hearing the commotion, the child's father comes to investigate.
Absolute. He's got the whole thing on camera.
With the board member.
I have it on camera. I did not.
No.
Yelling at him. I can be on the shame.
Touch my child and then calling the cops.
After the family show the video footage to the police, the neighbor is arrested and charged with assault. She is ordered to take anger management classes and write an apology note, which the mother says she is still waiting for. When the mom investigates, it turns out that the neighbor is not even on the HOA board. So according to Mom, this neighbor is full of hot air.
Why'd you just hit me?
West Covina is a suburban neighborhood just east of Los Angeles, and it's where Lady Senko and her family have called home for the past 3 years.
My relationship with my neighbors, I've talked to them a couple of times, but that's about it.
And even though Lady has a somewhat distant relationship with her neighbors, other people in her apartment complex have repeated problems with them.
They've received a lot of noise complaints. They smoke a lot, but I mean, what can you do about that? That's legal.
One night, Lady and her boyfriend head to the complex mailroom to pick up some mail. They spot their neighbor's dog off leash, and Lady claims the dog bites her foot.
I could feel like the teeth and I freaked out and I screamed and then like I dropped all my mail. And then this girl comes out and then she yells at me, you know, why'd you get my dog? I said, I didn't kick your dog.
Thinking Lady somehow harmed their dog, the neighbors come pouring out of their home. According to Lady, just outside of the camera's view, things get physical, and she starts giving her neighbors a piece of her mind. Lady and her neighbors continue to shout back and forth at one another until her neighbor's husband manages to usher the furious family back to their home.
Yes, you are.
But a few nights later, the brother of the fighting family wants to confront Lady and her boyfriend.
My boyfriend and I started hearing banging on our garage door. I was like, oh my God, it is the neighbor.
Hey, you bitch!
I was already calling the cops.
Call the cops, right? Play?
And then while my sister was recording, he started kicking my boyfriend's car.
Lady's boyfriend and the neighbor trade insults through the window when events take a sudden and violent turn.
Hey, you!
I saw him punch the window. I was shocked.
Come out, bitch! You think I'm scared you on me? All this over, stupid dog!
Looking to avoid any further physicality, Lady and her family wait inside for police to arrive while picking shards of glass out of their feet.
When the cops came, my neighbor started yelling at the cops.
Did you record him breaking it up?
Yeah.
The cops arrested him for battery.
The following day, Lady's boyfriend discovers the damage their neighbor did to his car during his outburst. So they decide to take legal action against their neighbor before he gets out of jail.
We made the supplemental charge about my boyfriend's car. Right after that, I filed the restraining order against my neighbor because I was scared to go outside.
Fortunately for Lady, her cause for concern is short-lived.
They moved out a few days after that.
With her neighbors gone and the case still ongoing, Lady isn't letting a traumatic experience with her neighbors change her pragmatic views on life.
It doesn't matter how nice you are to your neighbors. Sometimes life just sucks and you meet these people. So I guess the best thing to do is what I didn't do, walk away.
Hey, you!
Celebrating the birthday, you know. This is how we do it in the car scene, man.
In Texas, a birthday parade 30 cars deep rolls into this quiet Houston neighborhood.
God. He said be loud, so we got a bunch of loud race cars coming by. This Mustang in particular is like the most deafening thing I've ever heard in my life.
The parade is for a 6-year-old boy. And although the birthday boy loves loud race cars, his neighbors aren't so sure.
Scares me crap out of her.
As the parade winds through the neighborhood, it suddenly stops.
We're coming back.
As the man recording investigates, he passes some angry neighbors on their phones.
I think they're calling the cops.
Further up, he spots another neighbor, writing down license plate numbers.
Karen was yelling. Oh, look, she's getting plates. I'm getting it all on camera, yeah. Is she blocking the road?
And he finally gets to the front of the line. The birthday boy's father argues with a neighbor blocking the street. She's preventing the cars from continuing on to the father's house, where his son is waiting for his parade.
Karen is angry.
That's like drag racing. Are we
What?
Okay, listen, y'all can say it all you want.
Yeah.
This is a disruptive thing, and it's not good
Write
for
me a
kids
ticket,
in a
I'll pay the
neighborhood.
The neighbor thinks the parade is too loud for the neighborhood kids.
We're trying to leave, man.
No.
I'm trying
No,
to
you
This is impeding traffic. You're impeding traffic.
And still refuses to move, even when told the parade is for a neighborhood kid.
Is anybody else bothered?
Nobody else.
Anybody else bothered? I'm not just looking back.
Hello. Me. You made my granddaughter.
A line is being drawn regarding the parade, and neighbors quickly take sides.
We got Karen 1, we got Karen 2, we got Karen husband.
And the neighborhood parade now threatens to turn into a neighborhood brawl. But when the situation teeters on violence, the drivers decide to shift gears and pack it up.
Oh, Karen blocked us off, but she was not happy. She was not happy.
The canceled parade reconvenes at a nearby gas station as police are heard approaching.
Now they're going in the neighborhood. Some felons.
But after a few minutes, news trickles back from the birthday boy's father.
Down there. We're about to go back into the neighborhood because apparently the guy whose son it was his birthday for said we're good to come park in front of his house.
And while no one is arrested due to the altercation, the drive-by birthday is back on. And the birthday boy finally gets his loud parade.
Yeah, that's him right here.
Whether the neighbors like it or not. On the first day of lobster season, food blogger James Mizuki has just caught his lunch.
These are two beautiful lobsters. We about to eat good. Jacob found a good spot for us to park. We're gonna set up the grill. Oh, take a look at our huge lobsters.
While he and his neighbor Jacob prep their feast in a public parking lot, an unexpected visitor appears.
How's it going?
What are you guys doing here?
We're doing a catch and cook. We're making some lobster rolls. Want to try it?
No.
And she soon becomes crabby.
I want to see you leave. I want you to pack up and get the heck out of here.
Okay, what was your name?
Don't.
My name's James.
My name is I'm on the board, and if you're not out of here in a minute, I am calling the sheriff.
Okay.
It turns out that what the men think is a public parking lot is actually owned by an upscale homeowners association.
We're just trying to pack up so we can get out of here. I'll throw this
You're
into the
not
trash.
packing up. Pack it up!
And this vigilant board member is angry enough to make good on her threat to call the cops.
And we have some guys who are cooking.
We're leaving. We're leaving private property. We're not bothering anybody.
You're bothering me.
Well, we're trying not to. We're not bothering anybody. I'm not intimidating
He's not trying to intimidate you.
We're not bothering
I'll
anybody.
bring suit against you.
Why would you do
bothering
that?
I advise you to get the heck out.
If you give us a chance, we're trying to. We're not bothering anybody.
As the irate neighbor goes to leave, she suddenly does something shocking.
Whoa, stay. You are. Oh my. Oh, look what she just did. Oh my.
The neighbor's tantrum has destroyed most of James and his neighbor's meal, not to mention the 4 hours of diving and cooking.
There she goes. Ooh. And that's the remainder of our lobster rolls.
The pair never crossed paths with the lobster roll wrecker again.
Wow, I can't believe that just happened.
But James finds sympathy online when the video was viewed 20 million times.
So sad. We got it on video, I'm pretty sure.
And as these hungry neighbors head downtown to grab some tacos, it becomes clear they've made a narrow escape.
There goes the sheriff that she called. Hey, we're leaving just in time.
In Commerce City, Colorado, a family is chatting on their front lawn when the twin sisters living across the street begin yelling racial slurs at them.
Fat Mexican bitches! Compared to me, who are you?
According to witnesses, both sisters are drunk. One of them allegedly attacked one of the neighbors earlier in the day, retreating across the street when the victim called the police.
Dumbass! Oh, you can't even say dumbass. I can't get my pants up. You have cheap ass! Yeah, they were, and they're coming here. Who do you think they're going to be? Me! Who do you think they're going to believe?
You're drunk. I'm not. Who's going to jail?
You are.
You came to my property.
Despite the sisters screaming at them in stereo, the situation serves as a good reminder that recording neighborhood conflicts creates not just viral videos, but evidence as well.
But for real, because you tried to touch her, y'all are behind the cross. You probably all did crime.
They'll figure it out.
When the police arrive, the twins immediately try to spin their version of the events.
These people started. She just pulled my hair and slapped me in the face. That girl right there! I could literally walk there.
By now, police are familiar with their antics, having already gotten reports the sisters were drunk and out of control outside of their home before attacking their neighbors.
This is not looking good for you. Let me just tell you that right now. Go wait at your house.
It's not good because...
Go wait at your house.
I can't.
Okay, go wait at your house.
I'm not going to.
You talk crap to them one more time, you're going to jail.
No, I attacked me one more time. Old fat Mexican bitches.
Were they fighting?
I'm not asking for your permission. They start yelling stuff. We're not.
As the neighbors confirm the victim's version of the events, the twins are still running their mouths.
Congratulations, I hope y'all are on parole. We're gonna live here for the rest of the year. Y'all are too fat for parole, so I wouldn't bet that.
With predictable results.
Looking real good for you.
Yeah.
After watching the recorded evidence, police arrest the sisters. Each is charged with 2 counts of bias-motivated crime and 1 count of third-degree trespass. The family and neighbors thank the local police department for their quick and helpful response.
Looking real good for you.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
And I got you on video that you're destroying my car.
Chatsworth, California. A dispute over a parking spot has sent this hammer-wielding neighbor into a rage.
Get the out of this neighborhood. Yep. Cool, lady. Call, please. I'm calling. Don't worry.
The woman's neighbors have made claims of racism and harassment since they moved next door to her over a year ago. They dial 911.
Hi, I'm at one. My neighbor has 2 hammers in her hand and she's assaulting the car.
She's destroying property, and I have her on video. Call, please.
As a result of her senseless attack on the car, the woman was later arrested for felony vandalism. She was released without bail and is currently awaiting trial. In Sterling, Virginia, a biker is riding through his neighborhood when he spots a yellow Jeep jump the curb next to a teenage boy walking home from school. The driver jumps out of his vehicle and begins screaming at the teen. According to the driver, the neighborhood teenager walked against a green light, almost causing an accident.
Wake up! You can't see the sign?
Seeing how angry the driver is, the biker decides to intervene.
Hey, dude! Hey, you need to calm down on that kid. Come on, man.
No, I'm calling the cops.
Go ahead, cop. Call the cop. I got it all on video, dude. I got it all on video. You need to calm down.
What are you, a professional videographer?
It doesn't matter.
The school kid seems unfazed by the near-death experience.
You all right, dude?
But when the biker calls the driver out for threatening the teen,
You yelling at him? That's assault.
the driver is put on the defensive.
I'm in shock right now. I don't even know what I said because I'm in shock.
I got it on video and audio. You threatened him.
Claiming he is suffering from mental shock,
I'm in shock, sir.
the driver is now the one being driven over the edge.
I'm in shock. I don't know what I'm doing. Ran over a guy who was walking against the green light. They're sitting here with this passive-aggressive tone as if there's no emotion attached to almost getting in a life-threatening accident. He's got a camera that somehow negates human emotion. I am in shock from what just happened, and he's sitting here trying to negotiate with me.
And while the driver may be looking for a sympathetic ear, all he's getting is more agitated.
If you're going to bully me passive-aggressively, then I am going to file charges against you for harassment. I am in shock, and I need help.
Then go sit on your bumper and wait for the ambulance to show up.
The cops arrive minutes later, but find no laws broken, so all parties are allowed to leave.
Thank you, though. It would be me against him right now.
The clip is uploaded, quickly going viral and watched over 100,000 times, with many questioning whether the driver is reacting fairly or fairly overreacting.
I don't even know what I said because I'm in shock.
I got it on video and audio. You threatened him.
Donata Banks has been living in a family neighborhood with her husband Corey for 6 years. When new neighbors, 26-year-old Luvia, her husband Miguel, and their 3 daughters move in across the street, they soon become friends.
We actually just got along very well. We would sit out there and talk. They would offer beer to us, and we would get drinks out there with them.
We thought, oh, what a nice couple moving in. But the first thing out of the husband's mouth was, how well did we know their neighbors to the right of them? And we had to tell them we knew them pretty well, unfortunately.
According to Donata, the married couple who live near Luvia and her husband are problem neighbors.
They would accuse us of all kinds of things. She's shouting obscenities. Someone's working on my house. She's calling the police.
Soon after they move in, Luvia claims that the neighbors start making racist comments.
Go back to Mexico.
So Luvia starts recording.
I'm actually Mexican, so I have always been proud of it. My whole life, I lived here in Indianapolis. I never experienced racism against me. Purchasing the home was the worst decision of my life.
One evening, when Luvia is walking on what she thinks is her front yard, Luvia says the neighbor starts yelling at her.
Get off my property. Get your fat ass off my property. I am on my property.
It turns out that the neighbors think that 2 feet of Luvia's yard belongs to them. And as Luvia and her family don't have a fence marking their boundary, it becomes a constant issue. One afternoon, the neighbor becomes angry that Luvia's husband is mowing the contested part of the yard.
Mexican's gonna be dead.
And she turns her attention to Luvia and Donata, who are sitting on Luvia's porch.
When she tells me I'm gonna wrap the water hose around your neck, I'm feeling terrified, I'm feeling scared.
You feel like nothing's safe anymore. So yeah, I was really scared.
The police are called several times, and they advise Luvia to put no trespassing signs on the strip of land she believes to be part of her yard.
My neighbor would remove the no trespassing signs and throw them on my driveway. We didn't have proof it was her, but it was obviously her.
A few months later, Donata is sitting outside her house across the street when she sees the other neighbor confronting Luvia and her husband. So, Donata starts recording.
Get that sign out of my yard, you piece of trash.
I just had a feeling that something was about to happen.
Suddenly, the neighbor marches toward Luvia and Miguel in a fury.
When she throws the sign at my husband, I can see the anger in her eyes, in my husband's eyes, and I don't know what's gonna happen next.
Touch me, I'll kill you. Let her.
Calm
let
down.
her. Let her. Let her.
Calm down.
Let her. Let her.
Calm down.
Let her.
Hey.
Let her. No, let her.
Trash.
Let her.
It was very shocking. I never thought it was ever going to get, physical. It was actually terrifying.
Call the police.
Hey.
I've already called the police. Okay, let the police come out here.
This was supposed to be the best time of my life, being first-time homeowners, and it was just so horrible.
The neighbors, Donata and Corey, are watching from across the street, and when the angry neighbor notices, she turns on them too.
Go back in your house. Do it.
And they are scared.
I am worried for my neighbor's safety, everyone's safety. We're in the fear on a daily of walking out to our house, to our car.
When the police arrive, the neighbor is arrested and charged with trespassing, battery, and assault. The charges are later dismissed. However, when the video goes viral, 20 other neighbors come forward and complain to the HOA that the neighbor also harassed them. After an investigation, the HOA asked the problem neighbors to sell. But it's Donata and the Fair Housing Center of Indiana who take the neighbor to court for racial discrimination.
It makes me very sad to think about how she made us feel. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy.
The neighbor loses the case and is ordered to pay total damages of $225,000 for harassment and taunting people based on their race and national origin.
I never let her see me cry. I let her pay for what she did, and she's going to pay.
When the new neighbors move in, they have no issue with the boundary line.
It felt like I could live in peace. My kid could go outside and play. So it just felt great. I mean, it just felt like a beautiful, normal home.
Now, all the neighbors enjoy cookouts and socializing with one another.
It's nice to have Donata and her husband as neighbors because they're always there for us. This incident brings the whole neighborhood together. So everybody's happy now.
Yeah.
That knocking is the landlord. Since moving in, Christian claims his landlord is coming over constantly, always unannounced, rapping on the door at all hours. And often running away before he answers. Sometimes she tries striking up a conversation.
You want to talk?
No, I don't. I already asked you to leave me alone. This is harassment at this point. I'm recording this.
The landlord, a woman in her 50s, and Christian have had a recent falling out over money. Christian did some handiwork for his landlord and claims she underpaid him. Everything comes to a head one night when the landlord tries entering the house through the cellar and is surprised to learn the door from the cellar into the kitchen won't open because Christian has locked her out.
Unlock my door.
Can we help you? Why the are you in our house?
What are you talking about? This is my...
Why the are you in our house?
Christian, why are you talking to me like that?
I was thinking in my brain, like, if I catch her in my house, I gotta use this in court to get my rent money back because she's violating something.
Many states do have laws against landlords entering a tenant's home unannounced. But unfortunately for Christian, Maryland isn't one of them. And his landlord is not about to walk away.
Why are you in my house?
This is my house. When did it become your house, Christian?
It may be the landlord's house, but as a paying tenant, Christian believes he has an expectation of privacy. The landlord has had enough and calls the police.
Calling 911, threatening me.
I recorded it, so go ahead and lie. I'm like, you know what? This cannot happen. Get the out of my house.
Christian finally opens the door and readies for battle.
What are you doing in our house?
Don't threaten me.
Don't get your hands out of my head. Get your hands out of my face. He was like, don't you threaten me. And I'm just laughing like, what do you mean threaten? Like, were you there? I recorded everything, so I don't know what you mean by threatening.
Yeah. You're cursing me?
Yeah, I can say you. I can say you in my own house.
Yeah, and you can lock me into my basement.
There's no reason for you being in our house without permission.
Christian refutes her claims and continues to insist that she's there unannounced.
That tenant has no idea you're here. That tenant has no idea you're here. That tenant's at work.
True.
He doesn't know you're here. Nobody knows you're here.
That's not true.
You're over here doing whatever the hell you want in our house.
That's true. That's not true.
Hey, does anybody know that Robin's here right now?
That's not true. You're not a lawyer.
Does anybody know Robin's
You're
here?
a lawyer.
Upstairs, Christian questions the other tenants.
Did anybody know she was gonna be here? What are you doing in our house? She just called the cops on me because I locked the door to my own basement.
The second neighbor is new, having just signed his lease that morning, although he may be having second thoughts.
This is starting to be a hostile environment for me, and I just got here. That's a lease break. I didn't sign up for this. I didn't sign up.
I didn't sign up for this. No one signed up for this. Who in their right mind would sign up for a house just to be harassed by the landlord and then pay for the next month to have it happen again?
As tenants' tempers boil, the landlord simmers down.
Don't do that right here, because I'm going to start getting back.
The landlord retreats, and the battle seems won. But the night is far from over for Christian.
The recording stops, and the cops actually come 30 seconds later. So they arrested me right there for false imprisonment, threatening, and I went to jail that day in Baltimore City. One of the worst experiences I've ever had.
Christian is released within 24 hours and is eventually cleared of criminal charges, thanks in part to his footage.
What are you doing in our house?
Don't threaten me.
Don't get your hands out of my head. Get your hands out of my face.
And yet, after all he's been through, Christian still lives at the same house, with the same landlord, but with a new plan.
As of right now, I refuse to pay rent. I'm gonna stay here until the sheriffs come because she's not gonna use this space to make money. So I'm gonna stay my ass here until the very last minute. She's not gonna get rid of me that fast.
Looks like this neighborhood war is far from over.
I didn't sign up for this. I didn't sign up.
I didn't sign up for this.